Hi, welcome to another YouTube tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to design the mobile app of Peerspace. Peerspace is a space booking platform where you can book space for photo shoots, video shoots, bridal showers, baby showers, workshops, wedding reception, live music events, and whatever it is that you think you might need the space for. So for this tutorial, we'll be learning how to design some of the screens from Peerspace. Let's dive into it. First of all, we'll select our frame. I'll be using a 13 by 14. And thanks to the new Figma updates, we now have, if you go to assets here at the top left corner here, we now have assets, and then you can get the assets which are like design systems from 3 companies, and one that is Apple. You can get the iOS 18 for both mobile and iPad OS, and then you can get the Material 3 design kit from Google, and also Simple Design System, which I believe is made by Figma. So the first thing we want to get now is the navigation bar from the iOS design system. So we select assets, go to iOS 18, and under that we scroll to navigation bars because that's what we are looking for. They have 3 types. I think we can just insert this, and then you can see it's like already made components where you can decide to like tick off things that you wouldn't like to show up there. Yeah, so once we insert that, we align it to the left, assign it to the left, assign it to the left. Okay, I think it's not in our frame. So now it's in our frame. Now we can align to the left and now to the top. If we zoom in, we'd see that it is not perfectly aligned because we are using a screen that is lesser than. So I would just hold in Shift on my keyboard, and I'll scale it down until it touches the edge, so that way we have the same size that we're using. So I'm going to right click, and then I'll go to the detach instance because I don't need some components there. Or we can just go to our component settings here and choose to delete them. Some of them will be like don't show search. But beyond that, I think for this tutorial purpose, I just prefer to detach instance because we'll be bringing in our own arrow. We have different paddings that we'll be using and all of that. So yeah, so once we detach, we can go ahead. Let's just switch to our layers here, and then we can see what we are doing properly. Next thing is ungroup. And then I can delete the search feed out. The same thing, I'll just detach instance here. And then ungroup this. Or we can just keep this here for now, and then delete this. So changes to our fonts. The fonts we'll be using for this tutorial purpose. Number 1, I'll remove the style here because there's a component style. The font we'll be using here would be ABC. That is what Peerspace uses. And then, so yeah, the title of this page will be Find a Space. And then our font size would be 16. Font weight is medium. and then line height here would be 20. Spacing between letter spacing would be 0. Then make sure it's center aligned, and then go to resources. Okay, we already have an icon here, but for consistency's sake, I would just go here and go to plugins, and then material symbols to borrow an icon from there for this tutorial. So I'm using all the settings. 400 for the weight, the fill is off, grade is normal, and optical size is 24. Then I'll go forward to search for share. So yeah, we can easily just grab the back arrow here, and then I'll press K to scale it. I'll be using 20 by 20 for this. Okay, let me add this in. Make sure that the frame is selected. Number 1, make sure that the arrow is centered in the middle, and then press K. So it's centered in the middle of the frame, and then press K, and then it's 20. Our padding is 16. So that's we can just come up here and type 16s. Type 16. Then make sure it is aligned to the center of find a space. Yeah, it's aligned now. We can also select find a space and click on the vertical center alignment. So once that is done, the next thing is okay, I'll take out this line. Let me take out this line. Not sure where that line is from. Okay, so we have a stroke here. I can just delete the stroke. We don't need that. So we need to have a rectangle. The height would be 40, and then the width to be 358. So that gives us 16 pixel spacing to the left and to the right. So once you hold Alt and you move your mouse towards the left and move your mouse towards the right, you'd see now this is 16 pixel. So the next thing that we'll be doing before we go ahead is to set our color styles. So I sampled some of the colors from Space, and then I'll just draw a rectangle. And I'll enter the values for the purple spare that Space uses, and that is 855 EC. And then I'll just click on the 4 arrows here, and then I say new style, say Space / purple. And then the next thing would be grays. So we're going to have 4 grays. The first one here, so I'll select this, click on the minus, and then enter fill. So the color here is 6C6B74, and then I click on the 4 dotted icon here, and then I click on new style, then I switch to style, and then the name here would be Pierre Space /gray /400. So 400 because it's like our darkest gray, and then create style. So I have to recreate this purple again because I just realized that I created it as a variable and not a style. So I'll go there. It really doesn't mean anything, but let's just do it. And then, so when we're creating the bubble, I'll click on new style, and then style, pair space, and then / purple. So you can see it now there. And then the next gray would be 696E7C, and then we'll create the style also. Style, and it's pair space, keeping the same caps that we use, /gray, and I'll call this 300. Let me rename this. I think I didn't put a slash before the 300. Yes, so what we see now is that it's categorizing them under pair space. We have just one purple, and then under pair space for gray we have the 400, we have the 300, and then we'll go to the next one, which would be our 200. And then the color code for that, after we detach here, the color code for that would be ADA9B2, and go ahead to create the style also. And the last one for our gray would be D4, D1, D8, and as usual, we'll go on to create the style, and then call it pair space /gray /100. Next thing that we'll be doing is creating our black. And then once we drag, and our black will be 14115. Then click on style, and then change this to style space /black. And we're going to have two whites. That is one white, which is like the lightest for our backgrounds, and like one that is a little bit darker. So to touch this, I can just select both, then detach. So our first white would be FD, F7, FE, and then on the libraries, let's say new, and then we're going to styles, say pair space, the same spelling, the same capitalization, and then so white, then 100. And then the next one would be FE, FE, F5. And then we'll create the styles for this also. Let's, yeah, space. White on 600 because it's just a little bit darker. We're gonna see it right now, but you see to start applying it. So we really don't need all of this anymore. We can either delete them or just move them somewhere far. Since we created styles already, we can always pick our colors from the start. So select our frame, and then for the background, I would go to this, I'll click on the 4-dotted menu here, and then I just click on search white. We'll be using the white 100 for our background. So let's say that, and the color here has changed. So we'll select our rectangle here now, and then we give it a stroke. Color of our stroke would be our gray 200, and then for the fill, can give it the same fill as the background, which is our white 100. So we'll delete these materials away from here because it's giving a white background. Once we are done, we'll be having a search bar inside there. Click on material symbols again, and then would search for search. We'll look for the best one here. Select this. Make sure it is centered. Make sure that's number one, our frame is selected. Control and X this. Click on our frame and then paste. Reason being, and paste. Reason being, I noticed it was out of frame. So once the frame of the search is selected, make sure that it's centered. Then press K and then scale it up to 26. So bring it into a rectangle here, center aligned, and then it will be 12 pixels away from the edge. We need another one, so click on this, hold Alt and drag down. Need that to be 16 pixels away from the one on top. So I can just select both and just, yeah, it's 16 already. For this would need a location icon. Go to material symbols and then search for location, and then can select this, and then once we are sure it is aligned to the center, press K and then the same size, 26. So this is also not in frame, so Control X, select the frame and then paste. So now it's inside the frame. Now you can just select this and align it vertically to the center. Well, I see to make sure that it's also 12 pixels away. So now I'm going to select both of them, and then we'll change their fill color. Can go here, and then we'll be using gray 400. And then we'll run both of these, call that 2. And then we'll take our text tool and type inside here, say enter your activity. Our text here will be regular, size 16, letter spacing of 0.5 pixel, and our color would be our gray 100. We just give this some nice, yeah, I believe it is fine. Then we'll duplicate it. Let's assume the app already has our current location. We'll say San So this I'll left align this, and also left align this. San Francisco. Yeah, let's select this and make sure they align that way. To also be 8, roughly 8. I think that's fine. Then the next thing is the categories. What we want to search. So because this is already auto selected, like it's already filled. Let's assume it's filled. Would make this our gray 400. Or rather, let's use our black. Yeah. And now we can go ahead to design the categories. So the first category would be making is the photo shoot. So I recently updated my Figma to the new 2024 UI update. So yeah, you might notice some changes with the first part of this video and this other part. So we go to our actions here, and then widgets, and then material symbols to get a camera icon. Then we search camera, and then scrolling we can find this, and we select this. Make sure this is 30 by 30, and then it is aligned inside its frame. So once again, I believe it is outside, and I'll bring it inside frame. The next thing is the name of the category. Can just drag this down here. Let's type photo shoot, and then we use regular 14, then 0 pixels spacing, and then our line height to 60. Then for our color, we already have our colors here. So we select these two together, and then press Shift A to create a frame. And then we make the spacing in between these to be about, let's say 4. Let's make it 8. And then for the frame, we can give it come to our styles, and then let's see, let's try the 200. Yeah, so 200 seems perfect. And then in our auto layouts here, we give it enough spacing as required, or better still, we can just we can dial in the dimensions if we know the dimensions we want to use. Yeah, so in the constraints of the layout here, I'll select this. So that's to make it align to the center, both horizontally and vertically. And then for the width, I can width will be 112. And then the width will be 112, and then our height, we turn this to fixed height, and then we'll change this value to 104. So something is wrong here. We can check. Let's check what's wrong with our photo shoot. So clicking on the photo shoot, it has some space which is not supposed to do. So what we will do here is to select this. Yeah, auto width, and that fixes it. So make it also align to the edge here, and then about 24 pixels away from this. Yeah. I'm going to change the color of this background. Let's try some other column. I think we should just leave that for now. Then we can just duplicate this, holding Alt and Shift while dragging. On Mac, that will be options, I guess. Yeah, that would be option on Mac. And then we'll give it 12 pixel spacing parts. To get perfect dimension, we can select both of these and just 12. And then the last one, so 16, but the spacing between these two are not equal. So what I would do is I'll select these three, and then I'll select this icon to evenly distribute them. So we have about like 11, 12 ish. And then we can go ahead to change this. This would be video shoot, and then this will be party. So that way we are not drawing every box, because we just like made an auto layout. And then we can select this icon, the photo camera icon, and then a search video in my material symbol. Let's probably just use this for the sake of this tutorial. Let's change the color. We use black. Same thing for this also. So like just for us to be sure that we're changing it, because I mean they look alike but they are different. So this would be party. Then switch that up and just use that. The next set of things, so we can select all these three, and then putting Alt, we drag it down, make it about 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is meeting, and this is shop, and this is baby shower. So we can select this icon again, and then let's search for baby here. What's the closest? Maybe just this, yeah. And then but workshop, let's say, so let's search office so that we can see buildings, and then we use one of them. Okay, we should use this. And then for our meeting, search meeting, maybe we can live with this. Then so holding shift and control, that is command on Mac, can select the other icons and then change the color once and for all. So yeah, we have successfully created the categories, and the next thing that we'll be doing is a button. For the button, we can type search, because that's the action that will be happening on that page. Search, and then the size will be 20, and then we have 24 line height, 24 pixel line height. And what else? We are going to be using our white here. Don't let us use that yet. So after typing it, instead of drawing a rectangle, since I showed us how to create frames, let's press Shift A to make it an auto layout. And then for the fill here, we go and select our black, and then now we can select our text and make it white. So make it 100 white. The only thing we want to do here is we can just drag this to about here when we need about 16 pixels away, and the same thing here. So that way it's about 16 pixels away from both ends. We need our line to press L, then just create a line above it. That's about we'll give the stroke width to be about 0.5. We'll make it one of our grays. Let's see, I think this works, and we'll just put it like 12 pixels away from this. Yeah, and then we'll duplicate that, and then make it also 12 away. We can just select this 3 and say, adjust the distance here just to be sure. Now we need to create our navigation now, so we can borrow these, or let's create them from scratch. The first one is search. Type out search, and then so let's search here. We have this icon, bring it in. So this is the size we want it to be, 24 by 24, and then the font size would be regular 14 pixel, or okay, let's make this 10 pixel, and the line height should be 14, and the spacing here should be minus 1.5%. So select both of them, make sure that they are horizontally aligned, and then we click on Shift A. It gives them, once we click on Shift A, so I think I did the wrong thing. Okay, our search is not in our frame again. I'll just drop it down here. Click on Shift A, and the distance between them should just become 4. And then I'll click on Shift A again. So this is just like a set, like a group. And then Shift A that we're clicking now is to make like another frame that will be the main nav. So that's Shift A. So the direction here, it is horizontal layout. Yeah, that's correct. And then frame 9, that is, we can just name it nav bar. And then we can go in there. Yeah, for now let's just put like 24 pixels away from at both edge. So inside the nav bar, I'll click on this frame 8, and then just click on Ctrl D, which is Command D on Mac. I'll do that 2 more times so that we have 5 icons, and then just give them ample spacing using this. Let's try 24. So for the height, we are going to make the height 80. So the next thing we'll do now is to make sure that everything aligned in the center. Then our nav bar, will just drag it to the end there, like that's the full width of our frame. Then we select all 5 of these where we have our width, and then we say fill container so that it spreads evenly. And then would select all our text inside using Control and Shift. Let's select all our text and make sure we have them like this. For For the spacing by the edge, I think we can do 16, but that's just the same outro. And then now we can go ahead to change. Let's change our font, our text. So here we have inbox, and here we have bookings. And then next we have birds, and finally we have account. Then we change the icons. Yeah, you can say message. Change the icon here. Select this, and let's search for book. Let's select it again. Book. I delete this. And then boards. Not sure what that means. I think that is like saved species or something. So let's say save. I think that's something similar. Yep. And then accounts, you can say profile, and select any of these. So now we can go ahead and just change our colors to be black. The only color that would be different here will be this, and that would be using our purple. Select this color selection and change it to purple. So that is it. We are done with our first screen. I'm not sure I entirely like this gray, so I'll just change them manually. I'll click on the detach arrow here, and just find a gray that is more suiting. Maybe that. So now we're going to select everything and give them corner radius of 2, since we are giving all our files corner radius of 2. Then if we zoom into it, we see that. So we are done with the first screen. To have the Apple time and all the icons there, we can go to assets here, and then iOS 18. This is provided by Apple, and then let's look for probably have it in navigation bar here, and just select that. Let me take this out of the way. I'll select this, and I'll say what do I need here? Yep. I think I need just a status bar, and I'll turn every other thing off. Yep. We're going to delete the title when we insert it. So and then we just align it here and try to scale it down to make sure it's what we need. Click inside. Okay, before we can edit, we have to detach instance, and we'll do that by right clicking and then go to detach instance. Now we'll delete this. For the height, you can say upquartet, so that just sucks this height and then send it to the top. So all we can do further is to just like select all of these, and then just move them down a bit so they are just after that. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I think for this also would want all of these and the line, those are the strokes, to be close to this and not like 12 pixels away. So we just move them down while holding shift until we can see this red line that shows that it's touching the edge. And we select this. Want to reduce the distance here. Let's give it about 8. So break it down here, and then for the top we'd say 8, and then the bottom we can give the bottom about 24 pixels. Yep. So yeah, for the last time we are done with this screen. So for the second screen, we are going to select this and like just duplicate it, and then we can what are the things we'll be needing for this? We need all of our nav bar, so we'll leave that. We'll delete the categories and our strokes and the search button. You can delete this. We actually do need the search box. So just select all of these since we need it, and then group it using Ctrl G or Command G. Drag it down a little bit for now, and then our text is, we're going to type what are you planning in Lagos? And then we make this bold, change this to bold, give it a font size of 24, line height of 28, and then letter spacing of minus 0.2 reset. Then we make sure it's just 16 pixels away from our edge here. You can hold Alt while selecting it. You can hold Alt just to be sure that it's 16 pixels away. Bring it out a bit, and then make this about drag this up. Drag this up, and let's say about 24 pixels away. That's 24 comes up. Probably that is too small. Let's make it 16. Yeah. And then afterwards we need to have a set of categories here. We can borrow this. Select every one of these, hold it Alt, drag it here, and then click on Shift A. And then for the direction, I pick for the direction, I'd say horizontally, and so I'll go into the frame now and select every one of them, make them 95 by 85, and yeah. So for the spacing between them, I can make them 12, and then I'll make it 24 pixels away from the one on top on the search bar. I think we are good to go. The next thing is we need a title for the next section, and just click on our text tool, say spaces near you, and for the font weight it will be medium, the size will be 18, and the line height would be 22, and then our spacing here would be 0. Make it about 24 pixels away. Yeah, and then we need to start creating our next section. So for our next section, we have a couple of elements that this is where we'll be showing like highlights of like maybe the most reviewed spaces, or like just for them to have like a shortcut to spaces. So our text, say for the first page, let's say a natural light studio in Lagos. So we're going to drop the Lagos down because of to have like a maximum width for our font. So the size is going to be 16, and line height would be 24. So we have good spacing there, and then we make this minus 0.5%. That was the first step we need. Then since this would be reviewed, we need to have like the styles that shows the ratings also. So the next thing we need is rating icons, and then we go to material symbols star, and then we change it to fill because we need our icons to have fills, and then we can select this, click on K, and change the size to 12, and then just duplicate it about 5 times. Ctrl D, Ctrl D, that's about 5. Select all of them, and then Shift A to make it a frame. Once this is done, we're going to have a text next to it, showing like numbers of people that reviewed it. So let's say this has 100 reviews. I'm going to make it regular. Let's try 16, and then make light height 20, and the spacing should be 0. Then we can select every one of them together and just give them an auto frame. I think our frames are not inside, our ratings, our star ratings are not inside this frame, so just Ctrl X or Command X, and then Ctrl V to paste back inside this. So now that we select them, it works, and then give them a distance of 4. Okay, and then we make this about 8 away. Select this too and just make sure it is 8. We need a couple of things now. One is the image that this will be on. So we are going to draw a rectangle. Going to draw a rectangle and would make it 16 pixels away from the edge here, and then the width is going to be, let's make it 172 by 102. Make this bring this down, make sure it is aligned to the edge here. Let's make this 8. So we're going to fill this with images, but before we do that, we need to complete it. So let's show the price that like this place. Let's imagine we have a picture of a place there of a studio cost. We're going to click on T for the type tool and say from $50. So we want the price to stand out. So select the price, make that bold, make it 12, line height also 12, and yeah, the spacing is fine. And then for the from, we are going to make it lighter because we don't want to give emphasis to that. Make this 12, make this 12, and make the spacing -1%. And then make it an auto layout. Make our fill our black. Then select the text inside, make it white. Alright, let's give this a corner radius on our appearance to make it 2. And then the we can make these +4. Let's make it 8. See for a minute, and then make this 2. Yeah, just select that to make sure that everything is the way they're supposed to be. Just move it here. I think it is too much. It is too much. Let's make this 4. Oh, not that. Now let's make it 0 actually. So it reduces the height thereof. And then so yeah, we select our text because we want it to be like in the center of the frame, and then we select the align middle. So that's where yeah, it just moves it a little bit more. So then we need a art icon so that the user can favorite. Now we're going to turn it back to no field. Ctrl X and Ctrl V just to make sure that it's inside our frame, and the size would be using would be 16 by 16. And then we hit Shift A 16 by 16, and then give Shift A, and we make our height and width 32 by 33. Then make sure this is in the center, and then for the appearance we give it a corner radius of 100 so that it becomes a circle. Then we can make this our black, make the fill our black, but we'll reduce the opacity. I'm going to reduce the opacity to, let's try 30. And then for the art icon, we're going to make it our white. I think that is still a lot. Oh, we made the corner radius 30, not the opacity. So yeah, we'll make it back the corner radius to 100, and then for the fill, I'll just detach it here and make it like 30. So that is done. We'll bring this, the distance from the bottom here is 8. We'll try and give this also about the same thing. Yeah, make the spacing about 8 each, and then we can select this and give the corner radius of 2, and then go to our plugins again and select Unsplash. I'll go to search, and then let's just search studio and then we look for something that fits the text that we just imputed. Let's select this, and then once we select it, since we selected the rectangle, it just fits in perfectly. Then we can select these three and group them. First select all three, select these two, Ctrl Shift A to make it an auto layout, then select this our background image, and then Shift A to make it as an auto layout. While that's it, make sure that this is about let's do 20, so just one distance down, and then drag it. We need it again, so we can just hold Alt and drag another one about 12 pixels away. Just select this other one and say 12. So that way, then we can have another one like run into out of the screen, so like the users can just slide through. This is out of frame right now. This. Yeah. Then we can change the text here and say podcast studio in Belgium, likely. Then we can change this to say 100. That's fine. We're just going to move it. There are some settings that I should have accounted for. Let's make sure it's also aligned. Was it distance 6? And select this and then align. Then select our image and then look for Unsplash again. And then let's just search podcast. We can just select this and it's going to be filled in automatically. So we can change the rating and say this is 35. If we don't want to make this a fill, we can just make it a stroke, and yeah, let's make sure we select black. So that way we're also done with that section. We need to have another one below, so we can select. So we select all three here, and then hold Alt and drag down. Make it about 20 pixels away or so, and then send it to the back using Command and then the right brackets key, just to make sure that it's under navigation. So we select all these three and then we send them to the far back of our layer. Okay, so our navbar doesn't have a fill, so we can just give it a fill color and make sure that we're using our background also here. So the appearance, the opacity is 100. Let's make it 80. Then I believe we are good, and that brings us to the end of our second screen and to the third screen now. So to continue to the very last screen of this tutorial, we'll be designing the third screen. So we'll just drag this here, visual, and then this page would be the page where like the full details of a property is being displayed. So to do that, select all of these and then we'll delete them because we don't need them. For this page, network bar and like the time bar, would change them to white. So I'll disconnect this here and then just make this all white. Something else that I'll do is I'll give it a feel of black, but to be a gradient. So we'll select gradients here and then it would be black 000 and then 000. But the second one would reduce the opacity to 0 and then would turn it all the way around here and then bring this up here. Yep. So yeah, just so that we have good spread. Think they should work. And then the next thing would be the image of the selected property. So use our frame and then draw the width. The width would just be exactly the width of our frame. And then the height is going to be 312. Okay, and then we select our plugin that says go to plugins here and then go for Unsplash. So I just say Studio and then search, and then just go through to find like a recent picture to use. Let's assume we want to use this and we'd select this to fill in our frame. Okay. So we can't really see the details there. So I want to adjust it so that we can have some more black coming. So yeah, I need to move the time out of the frame first of all, and then move the frame out of the nav bar. Let me just adjust the gradient a little bit. Yes, I think this is perfect. Next thing that we need there would be a back button, like to go back to the previous page, which is this page, and then like a share icon and a love or favorite icon to favorite that in case you didn't do that in the first page. So we'll bring up our plugin and then our plugins and widgets, material symbols, search for back. We can use this, drag it into the frame. I'll line them up later, and then let's look for share. Can use this. Oops. So I had the initial one selected, so I have to deselect the previous one and then select it again. Then I can drag this in here. Okay, let me just move them here where I can easily see them. And then lovely, we need the out icon. Then we drag it inside also. I'll be using our white for every one of them. And then we'll go and select 100 white. Our size will be 20 by 20, so just scale and say let me select them individually. So 20. The second one is here. Also click on K 20. And this also 20. And then we can align all of them together to be on the line, on the same line height, and then just drag them in. So I think for this gradient thing, I would want to move it to a layer on its own so that it can spread more into the picture, and then we can see the icon. So like just the topmost part is just a little bit faded out. So I'll create another frame. By the way, like take it out of this frame and then just align like that. Okay. So I can just like duplicate this frame, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to duplicate the initial frame, and then we go to the fill. Instead of image, we go to gradient, and then we select 100 black, and then this is black also, but we're giving it white. So we are trying to drag this out so that like we can have that. Let me lock the one below. And then for the nav bar, I can disable the fill. And then for this, I can see the gradients better now, and I know what I'm working with better. So I mean to see a bit more. Yeah. I'd say this is perfect. Yeah, so that way we can see the icons. Where are they? Okay, just put them above all of these, and then you can space them out. Still come back to adjust the gradient. So the same margin we have been using all through, which is 16 pixel. So move this, make sure to 16 pixel, and then move this also here, making sure it's on the same line, and this should be like 16 pixel away from this. Once here, and then from the edge, it should be 16 pixels away. And I can select this frame again to make sure that like we have a good gradient that shows the back icon. I believe you can see it better now. So that way we can now go back and continue. I think our frame is a little bit distorted. This other frame, let's see what we have there. Yeah, it's perfect now. And then the next thing is to create the title of the space. Work T for our text tool, and let's call it Dream Studio Dream Photo Studio. Here, let's make it like this: Dream Photo Video Studio in layers, and we're then 16 pixels away also. So make this bold, and our cells will be 24. Our line height is 28. and then let us place it is 0 or minus 0.5%. And then we'll just make that be about 20 pixels away. Well, let's make it 24. Yeah. Then the next thing is location icon showing the location where the studio is. So let's use this. I'll just add this here for it now. Making sure that all of these are filled with our black. Or rather, for this would use our gray because we want to give it a different contrast, and that's how it is done there. Let's see which of the grays would be perfect. Let me see, 200. I think either a 300 or a 400 would just be perfect. Yeah, let's use the 300. And then align it to this. "16 pixels away," and then I can just like copy this, and then let's say Lekki paste 1 Lagos, enter for Nigeria, and then we are using regular, and our font weight is 16. Our line height is 20. I would leave the spacing as it is. Make sure that the color is the same as that, which is our gray. Yeah, with 8 pixels away. Yeah, 20 pixels. And then for the next one, we need we need to show the system capacity, the time that you can book for. That's like the minimum time we can book for, and then the area size. So for that, you would need say people, and okay, I think this icon would be an appropriate one. We need clock to show the time. Okay. Oops, I did that again. I just cut this, then paste, just to make sure they are inside the frame. And then for the last one would be let me say, let me try triangle. Let's see, measure. Okay, we can use this. Then we select all three and make sure they are our 300 gray. And then we'll just copy this text down here. So the session capacity is 120 people. And then make it about 8 pixels away. And then next is the time allocation allowed. Say 1 hour. And then let's say the space size, that's the dimension of the studio, is 650 square feet. So this also make it selected this too. Make sure that the spacing is also 8 away. Yeah, so make sure the space is also 8 away, and then 16 pixels away from. This doesn't necessarily have to be 16 pixels away. I think the first one is the one matters the most, and then next thing that we'll do is just space every one of them equally away from the first one. Let's try 28. Alright, let's do 4. I'll just make each one an auto layout. I think one of these, the square feet is not in the frame. Drop it out there and bring it back in. Now it's in the frame. So yeah, everything's working fine. I'll just getting back to it. And then select all these 3 auto layouts and just put that 4 there. I'll make it at the same distance we have for this, and that is 20. Let me just make this an auto layout. Location icon, it's also not in the frame. Drop it out there and bring it back in again. 8 and 20. 16 pixels away, okay, and just align them and make sure that the spacing is 22. Just a quick check. I want to see what our 200 look like. I really don't like the icons we are using there because they have like a strong feel. Yeah, let's just manage this for the purpose of this tutorial. Yeah, I think I'll make the spacing of this, let's say 12. So I feel this is too light for what we need, and I'll just change the gray. Let's see. I think I'll just attach it and eyeball these. Feel free to use what you feel works for you here. Let me just switch this back to 400 and then we can walk off from there. I think I would say I'm fine with this. And then we can like just hold Option or Alt and drag this like line here to duplicate it. And then I'll probably just make it 36 pixels away. I feel like moving this a bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4. this still look quite big to me. Maybe I use book. I reduce the font weight and use book. Now let's select. I think the color also, but for save time, I guess you get the idea. I just don't want them to have too much contrast, and then they are also calling for attention. I want them to be visible enough, but at the same time, they shouldn't be so much in our face. I think I can change the font weight back to, let's say, book. Let's say regular. Let's leave this in book. And then next, we need to highlight the price there. So we need to highlight the price. I'll just borrow this. And then just type in 50 $2 off, and then I would select the flags too and make them light. The size will be 16. And for this, let's try. It's supposed to be 15. $15. And then for this, would use 24. Yeah, 28. That's perfect. And just make sure it is center aligned. I believe that 6 is fine. The next line would type in your booking will be instantly confirmed. Oops. Alrighty. So this weight would be medium, and then our size will bring it down to 16. Then our line height is 24. Then I think 0.5 is fine. I think just that is fine also. And then next line we told them they can cancel for free within 24 hours. And then we make this regular, and then the size is 20, line height. The size is 16, line height is 20, and then the spacing we make it another 1%. And also center align it. For this line, while holding Alt and Shift to make sure that it is aligned to all of our elements above, so it's just 16 pixels to the left and right. And then we drag it down while holding Alt to duplicate it. So yeah. And then so to the concluding part of this tutorial, we have just a few more sections, and then we call it a day. So the next aspect here, we have a title here called About Space, which would give detailed information about the space, the user is trying to rent. And then we'd make the size 20, and then the weight can be semi-bold, and can use this as 0. Yeah, and align line height as 24. 24 is okay for the space there. And then we are going to have rectangle here. I'll just make it like 16 pixels away, or I will 12 or 8. Let's see what 8 would give us. Probably 4. Yeah, I think 4 is fine. So this is going to be white, all white. And then we'll go to effect and give it drop shadow. For the y-axis, we'll say -4. Then maybe we can give it like blur radius of like 8. Let's try 12. And that's just fine. And so I'll do this and then custom, and then make sure that like we have that some purple in our block, just that. And with this opacity to about 10, let's try 5. Yeah. Or maybe I can reduce the distance and make it -2. Yeah. I think the blur is also too much. I can make the blur 8. Afterwards, we have the price once again showing over there, and then that will be $35 per hour. We are going to select this. That's the amount, or dollar. I'm going to select the amount and make it medium 24, and then line height of 28, while the other end would be 16, then line height of 20, and then the width would be light. We need an let's check the spacing, and then afterwards we need the rating icons. We can just borrow from this, copy it from there, and then paste here, bring it all the way down. And with this, our font size is going to be regular. That's 17. Yeah, I think that works. The only one thing that we're going to do here is decorate and make it that. What else? Color of this is going to be different, so we'll go into our color styles and use like one of our grays. Let's see what would fit. I think 200 is good. Say, let's get people reviewed so far. What's the spacing here? I think that works. Okay, so trying to have equal spacing from the top to the bottom. Let's just group this together and then make sure it is aligned to the center so that we're good. And then we need our button that says start booking. Copy the button over here, and then it says start booking. We're going to change the color of the button to purple, and then go here and select our purple. And then for the length, you can reduce the length to say and reduce the length to say let's try 168 for the width. Yeah. Make sure it's also aligned in the middle, and then center pick dissolves away. Yes. Okay. So that means we have for the user to be able to see the details about the space, they have to scroll and then they see details that they might need. To make it look more iPhone-ish, we can go to the iOS design system, look for navigation bars, let's just find the perfect name for what my call it here. Okay, I think no, I don't have it yet. So two things that we can borrow here is the home indicator one. Bring that down here. Have it aligned in the center and then aligned to the bottom. And then what else we probably need? Yeah, we can just borrow this line here, bring it up here, go to the front, and then to reduce the size, I would do 80. I would increase the stroke. The one, let's see, let's try 4. Then I'll round it on both ends. Yeah, I can definitely it's lighter than that. Now reduce this to like 64. Let's try 62. Yeah, and that brings us to the end of our tutorial. I hope this was insightful and you learned something there. Please, if you did, please drop a comment and share with someone out there that might find this useful. Thank you and watch out for the next tutorial.